And here is the Writer's Almanac for Wednesday. It's the 18th of May, 2022. It's the birthday of the photographer Matthew Brady, born near Lake George, New York, about 1823. He was a very prosperous portrait photographer in New York City, took pictures of Edgar Allan Poe and Daniel Webster. James Fenimore Cooper published them in a book, took a portrait of Abraham Lincoln. And when the Civil War broke out, Matthew Brady risked his finances to go south and document it. Exposure times were still much too long to permit photographing battles in action. He took many photographs of fallen soldiers, held a showing of them in New York. People were shocked. They'd never seen the carnage of war before. Brady had gambled everything on this project, but nobody wanted to pay for such disturbing images. 10 years after the end of the war, Congress paid him $25,000 for his archive, but that did not cover his debts, and Matthew Brady died penniless. It's the birthday of the filmmaker Frank Capra, born in Bisacchino, Sicily, 1897. Got a job in Hollywood, learned the business, writing title cards, handling props, directing short subjects, and then hit the big time in 1934 with It Happened One Night. By the late 30s, Frank Capra had found his storytelling rhythm. An idealistic, even naive, average guy runs up against a corrupt system, prevails with the help of his pluck and determination and the support of people who love him. Mr. Deeds goes to town. Mr. Smith goes to Washington. He made propaganda movies during the war, and then after the war found that America had changed. His first post-war film, It's a Wonderful Life, was a huge box office disappointment, didn't come close to breaking even. By the mid-'70s, TV stations started showing It's a Wonderful Life around Christmas time, and over the years it's become a traditional part of the holiday season. And it's the birthday of the philosopher Bertrand Russell, born in Wales, 1872, best known for his The Principles of Mathematics, which argued that the foundations of mathematics could be deduced from a few logical ideas. It came out in 1903. Bertrand Russell, who said, "The time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time." Here's a poem for today by Billy Collins entitled House. I lie in a bedroom of a house that was built in 1862, we were told. The two windows still facing east into the bright daily reveille of the sun. The early birds are chirping, and I think of those who have slept here before. The family we bought the house from, the 5 Critchlows, and the engineer they told us about who lived here alone before them, the one who built onto the back of the house, a large glassy room with wood beams. I have an old photograph of the house in black and white, a few small trees and a curved dirt driveway, but I do not know who lived here then. So I go back to the Civil War and to the farmer who built the house and the rough stone walls that encompass the house and run up into the woods. He who mounted his thin wife in this room while the war raged to the south, with the strength of a dairyman, or with the tenderness of a dairyman, or with both, alternating back and forth, so as to give his wife much pleasure, and to call down a son to earth, to take over the cows and the farm, when he no longer had the strength after all the days and nights of toil and prayer, the sun breaking over the same horizon into these same windows, lighting the same bed space where I lie, having nothing to farm and no son, the dead farmer and his dead wife for company, feeling better and worse by turns. A poem by Billy Collins, House, from his collection The Trouble with Poetry and Other Poems, published by Random House. That's the Writer's Almanac for Wednesday, May the 18th. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.